Welcome to Rappahannock Issues Special Edition. We're here on election night with live coverage of our local and state elections. Important races are going on, not only locally in Stafford and Spotsy, but also the governor is trying to take control of the Senate so he can endorse and push through his agenda. So I'm Tom Cohen. Joining me tonight is my co-anchor,
David Kerr. And Tom's right. Tonight is a big election for more than one reason. Now, if you're following the local races, Clerk of Court, Board of Supervisors, School Board, that's important. But at a statewide level and even a national level, control of the state Senate really matters. And tonight, in a handful of seats, as far away as Roanoke, as close by as Prince William County, there will be elections decided that could determine who controls the state Senate, and that's going to have national implications.
We're going to start with local. We'll start in Stafford. There's some countywide races. First up for the county is sheriff. We have Charlie Jett, the longtime sheriff for Stafford County, is retiring. He is being replaced, or hopefully to be replaced, by DP Dave Decatur, who has been his deputy for almost as many years as he's been a sheriff. Contesting that is a candidate who has run for sheriff before, and that is Chuck Feldbush. He ran for sheriff twice unsuccessfully, and now he's running as an independent as opposed to being a Democrat. Dave, what do you want to say?
You need to remember one thing about Charlie Jett. He's the retiring sheriff, but I used to live in Aquia Harbor, and a lot of people watching the show know where Aquia Harbor is. A lot of them live there. And Charlie Jett used to be our gate guard when he was 19 years old, and now he's retiring. Time moves on.
Well, that's true, and we're going to move on. The next race to look at is Commonwealth Attorney. Do you want to describe the Commonwealth Attorney race?
That's an interesting one. Eric Olson was elected to this job 4 years ago when the incumbent Commonwealth Attorney retired after many, many years, and it was a match between Tim Barbaro and Eric Olson. Again, the same election, almost a repeat, is Eric Olson against Tim Barbaro. It looks like an interesting race to watch.
Yeah, there's been a lot of different issues over the last 4 years, and then Mr. Barbaro has had a little bit more of a ground game this year than he did last time. Other countywide race is for Clerk of Court. Barbara Decatur, who's a longtime clerk in Stafford County, has retired, and her second in charge, Kathy Stern, is trying to do the same thing that Decatur's trying to do for the sheriff. She's trying to rise up into the top position. She's being challenged by SZZ Skoloda, who's the Democratic candidate for that seat. First-time candidate to run for that. If we move over to the Board of Supervisors, David, you want to take over and look at the Griffiths-Widewater District?
Griffiths-Widewater District has an incumbent, Jack Cavalier, and this is his first time running as a Republican. He has run in the 3 prior elections, 1 he lost, 2 he won, 3 he won, excuse me, as an independent. And he's running against Milton Bratton, the Democrat. And it's an interesting district. It is definitely a swing district. And Jack Cavalier has had to fight this one very intently. A lot of the issue in terms of his opponents has been around the naming of the swimming pool at Embry Mill. Big issue, big topic amongst a certain group of voters. Some people say Jack doesn't have a problem. Others are watching this race very closely.
We have a couple results in Spotsy, so we'll jump over to that. We have some for Precinct 102, which is in Spotsy, is Blades Corner up in the Berkeley district. Right now you have Bill Gill at 173 votes, Dunavant at 100 votes, and the incumbent, Mr. Harris, at 394. That may well be
sheriff's race.
Yep, that's the sheriff's race.
So the Sheriff Harris is minimal returns is ahead.
Yep. All right. Also, going back to Stafford County, what we have in Stafford in the Griffiths-Widewater District is a school board race. School board race has an incumbent, Dana Reinbold, who has been there for 12 years, being challenged this time by Emily Fallon, who is a new-time person, lives in Aquia Harbor, I believe. As you said, the school board has a lot of different issues. There was the finding of $8.3 million, really $9 million, and some redistricting issues. So that'll be, the school board races will be rather interesting to look at to see how they do. Do you want to move over to the Rock Hill District?
Well, that's my backyard.
It is.
And I have at one time seen all these candidates roaming through the district, or at least a couple of them. This is one district that does not have a Democrat running, but it does have 3 candidates. We have the Republican, Wendy Moore. We have an independent, former supervisor, Robert Gibbons, who served on the board for 16 years before taking an 8-year break. And then we have an independent, first-time candidate. He's been around Stafford politics. They're not directly involved for some time, Paul Wildowski. He is also running as an independent. The race is considered very close because Mr. Gibbons has a lot of name recognition, while Ms. Moore is a very lively candidate who also has the backing of the Republican Party. So it's going to be interesting to watch that race.
And that's an open seat with Cord Sterling from
Right.
Rock Hill retiring. There is a school board race in there as well that has Dean Federoff, who has been a very consistent person and active citizen in various citizens committees for the school system, going against incumbent Trish Healy. She has served 4 terms herself. And so that'll be a lively race. We have about 2 minutes left, so we'll zip down so that we can finish Stafford.
Of course.
In the George Washington district, in my backyard, the Board of Supervisor is Bob Thomas. He is not challenged, so he wins re-election very easily for that. And the big race for that is school board. The school board has a 3-way race. First, you have the incumbent, Dwayne McOsker. This is his first term. He's being challenged by Donna Oliver, who is very much being supported by Meg Bomke.
The incumbent supervisor.
The incumbent supervisor for a different district, the Falmouth district, who has also been active in the Griffiths-Widewater supervisor race. And then Carol Hubner-Medawar, who is a teacher, used to be with Stafford County, left Stafford County to go to Fauquier County, is running for the school board.
You know, the Stafford politics can get a little Machiavellian sometimes.
Well, that is true, and that's an interesting race.
People all fiddling around in each other's districts.
Right. We have less than a minute to go. We mentioned the sheriff's race in Spotsy, so we'll do that. We can talk about that in a minute. Very interesting race between the incumbent, Roger Harris, being challenged by Republican Bill Gill, and then Christopher Donovan. They had a very interesting debate where almost every joke question that you ever thought of was like, when did you stop beating your wife type question was in the debate. They did not get debated on our show, which was unfortunate because it was a very lively debate. We'll have some more lively results for you in a few moments, so come back after this break, and we hope you stay with Rappahannock Issues on election night.